And I teach other people to first look at the really big picture and then look at where they're at, because you have to know where you're at first to know where you're going. And I also help them figure out what exactly is going on in their mind and how to create the changes that they need to create to manifest the vision that they're having.
Got it.
When they start doing that, then they actually start seeing like a little pattern, and they'll have a pull either one way or another. And if they don't get the pull one way or another, I teach them how to use their body to make decisions.
Oh, I love that. I totally love that. I mean, because I know, like, for myself, again, thinking of like different ideas or getting jumbled up in your head and in your thoughts and in your process can be one of the most challenging things, and not being able to be clear and to see things clearly. So it sounds like, too, being able to work with people and helping them trust their intuition and knowing that, okay, this feeling or this feeling that you feel inside means this versus this. Is that what you're saying?
Sometimes we can decipher what it means, and sometimes we can decipher whether or not it's just something that is camouflaged, such as fear can camouflage the lack of knowledge. So if somebody wants to start approaching a business and they're looking at this great big huge piece, this great big huge business that they want to create, it causes paralysis from analysis. And when we back up and start taking it at one little bit at a time, they can actually see, okay, for just today, this is all I'm going to do. Tomorrow I'm going to worry about the rest. And then that also helps with the overwhelm. Got
it. Well, that kind of leads me into a question. I have a question here from one of our listeners, and her name is Trish, and this is her question. I've been wanting to start my own small metaphysical shop at home for many years, but I just don't have the confidence. There are mornings I wake up so motivated and energetic, then it goes away. She says, I'm an Aries, not sure what to do. So how would we assist like somebody like Trish? Because I'm sure there's like what we're talking about, there's a lot of people out there. Like, what would be a starting point?
One of the starting points that I would suggest is to first write it all out of your head so that you can put it into a logical form. And then once you get it all written out, that starts alleviating some of the fear, and you can start taking it into little bite-sized pieces on what you can do today to move towards there. And what you might do today to move towards there might be self-care so that you build up your confidence. It might be, today I'm going to make a couple of phone calls to see, if I want to do a physical shop, how much it's going to cost to rent a place. Or if I'm going to be strictly online, doing some online research on how to develop a website that would be able to carry e-commerce and products.
So basically what I hear you saying is like for her with this metaphysical bookshop is to start off with just like what you're saying is putting everything onto paper. Yes. Just to be clear, so you're taking, is it more like just the brainstorming and that aspect where you're just throwing out all of your thoughts or what your vision is?
What you're doing is when you put everything that's in your mind on paper, is you're emptying out your head. And when you empty out your head, it gives you more clarity on the directions and the steps you need to take.
And when you talked about doing some personal care and stuff to help with the confidence, like what do you mean by that? Do you mean like doing some coaching lessons or to work on that confidence, or to see maybe what that block is or what those fears are?
For personal care, that's uniquely individual. For me, my personal care is doing getting reflexology, having massages, doing yoga, things that I do just for me. Okay. And I'm not thinking about my business or anything else when I'm getting these personal care things done.
Got it. Go ahead.
Oh, some people just like taking a bath, or they like cooking themselves a little meal, or, they want to do something special for yourself. That's personal care, and that builds up your confidence.
Because you're taking care of yourself, right?
Exactly. Yes.
What a concept, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's the hardest thing to do sometimes, though, and not taking care of ourselves or taking care of what it is that we need to be able to feel confident to move forward. So I know that you made a special page for us too for this show, for my Keeping It Real show.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm going to give the web address. It's www.lucimmonagle.com/real. And over there, you have posted a book of a free clarity session. What is that?
A free clarity session is if somebody needs to talk to me to discover whether or not my coaching services would be appropriate for their particular circumstances, and whether or not I would have a package that would be something that would help them really get some traction on their business and to move forward.
Okay. And I know that you, and I know also over there on that web page, and I will have it also located on my website and also on my Facebook fan page as well, so in case, and I'll repeat the address here in a little bit, but also on there you have a selection here that says click here to go to the learning module. What is that exactly?
The learning module that I created is Develop Your Vision. And this is a business vision module. And what it does is it helps you develop a new business idea, create a side business, or additional products or services for your existing business. And what the goal of this module is to get you thinking whether or not you can start a business, if you're ready to start a business, or if you're ready to create more products or services, and to ask yourself, how can I make this work for me? To become teachable, because when we're teachable, that's when we get the greatest ideas. At first, it's going to cover whether or not you have the skills and the passion for what it takes to start a business. And then I have templates that you can download to find out if you have the appropriate knowledge, the appropriate passion, abilities, and skills. And in addition to that, I also have a short video with information for creating your vision, and I have additional templates for your business vision, take the expert test, doing a market test so that you know whether or not your idea is going to be profitable, where to get the money, and where to invest the money first.
Okay. It's a one-stop shop.
Yes, and that's
so
just your vision.
No, and that's that would be a great thing for Trish to take a look at, as far as, or anybody else out there, as far as wanting to start a business or just being able to take a look at like what their ideas look like. And I wish that you had that for me, Lucy, 7 years ago, 8 years ago. Because it's hard to navigate. It can be a really challenging way to navigate what it is that your idea or your vision is. And I know that it's to have that support, and what you're offering people is just priceless. So I thank you as an entrepreneur for creating this module and creating this platform to help other people as well. So I have a question here also, going back into from Pat here in the chat room. And what her question is to going back what we were talking about, intuitively listening to your body. So she said she was a little bit confused on what we were talking about, building a business when listening to your body. So if we could talk maybe a little bit more in depth about that.
Okay, I'll give you an example. An easy way to find out a yes or no question is to stand up, have your feet hip distance apart, and have your your ankles in the same, imagine yourself standing straight up, and then put your hands on your solar plex, which is the middle of your stomach, and ask yourself which way is yes. And your body will literally lean forward or backwards. And then you
Really?
ask your body, yes, it's phenomenal. And then you ask yourself which way is no, and your body will lean right or left, or sometimes forward or backwards. And then once you find out what your body means, yes or no, right or left, then you can ask yourself, release your hands, shake them, and then put them back, and then ask yourself a question. Okay, should I develop a business idea around X, Y, or Z? Yes or no? And then your body will move forward or backwards. And what that does is when you move, mine is forward. When I move forward, I feel it pulling me towards it. And when I move backwards, I feel it's pushing me against it.
I'm doing it right now, just so you know.
Oh, okay.
I am. I'm like, I got to try this. So you just stand up, right? And your
Right.
feet are shoulder width apart?
Yes, you stand up straight with feet are
Yes.
your shoulder width apart. You put
Okay.
your hands in your solar plex, and
Got
then
it.
you ask your body which direction is yes.
Interesting. So my hip automatically tilted to the right.
Okay, so then yours is tilting to the right, and that's
Okay.
yes for you.
Okay. And then now I ask which is no,
Correct.
and that's tilting forward.
Okay, so no is tilting forward and right is tilting yes.
You're making
And
your body a human pendulum, basically, in a sense, right?
yes, you are.
Got it. Okay, and so then you ask the question, and so if it tilts to the right, then it's going to be yes for me. And if I tilt forward, then it's going to be no.
Correct.
Fascinating. Oh my goodness. My husband's going to be staring at me at night when I'm standing there, all like tilting to the right, going forward, saying like, excuse me, I have to tune into my body here and see which way I'm going to go. I love it. Never heard of anything like that, Lucy. Awesome. So let me ask you this. So then basically then you would be utilizing this technique as you're tuning into these questions or as you're looking at your business, like maybe my question is, should I partner with this avenue or should I market in this avenue? And then basically using that strategy or that technique
Yes.
to get my own answer.
Yes. And it's always best to start out with really simple questions that you already know the answer to so that you can really get in tune with your body. I wouldn't suggest asking a really major question of it right away
Okay.
because you have to learn how to trust the answers.
Right. Got it.
So,
Awesome. I'm so excited. Like, I got to go try this out. I love that. I've never heard of anything like that before. So thank you for teaching me something new.
you're welcome.
So now I want to talk a little bit here, Lucy, about, we've also had several questions coming in, one from Scotty here as well. And so one of the things he was asking is, I have a small business that's about 3 years old now. Well, it's been good. There really hasn't been much growth. What should I do to grow my business? And I think we all can relate to that if we've had a business at one point or another, is to where it just feels like it's a little, it hits stagnant or it just feels a little bit stuck. So what is your, like, what could you share your experience with this?
I've noticed that whenever I stop personally growing and I stop personally creating a bigger and bigger vision, that I start getting stagnated and stuck. And so I would, of course I would have to ask more questions to find out his particular needs, but I would ask him to check in to find out what exactly are you doing for personal growth and what exactly are you doing to create a bigger and bigger vision for your company. And if he's creating bigger visions for his company and taking the action to expand it, then he should start seeing more growth rather than it being just stagnated.
So is it more too, and I like what you said. I never really thought of it that way as far as like taking a look at personal growth or taking a look at where you're at. Do you think that as far as